IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
What's happening, Chris? Looking at eastbound 465, slow after South Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. There was a crash there, but it is gone. Westbound 70 drags into the north split after Rural, and then southbound 6570, that construction delay. It is jammed from the north split to Fletcher, then slow to the south split. Eastbound 70 stop and go around West Street. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Services. Water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Strong to severe thunderstorms possible this afternoon. Could contain some heavy rainfall, incredibly gusty winds. It's going to be warm and humid with highs today into the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Tonight, in this setting, I am calling for the resignation of Mayor Joe Hogsett. And furthermore, I am calling for the resignation of our council president and vice president from their roles. From their leadership posts.
Whoa! 2 for 1 right there, Hammer. That was a
got a 3 for 1, baby.
Yeah, basically, Democratic Indy Council member Christy Carlino, the latest council member, the Democrat. A Democrat to call for Mayor Joe Hogsett to resign. She's also called for chair and vice chair, Vasily Ali and Ali Braun. Ali Alejandro to resign as well. She is now the 4th counselor, 3 Democrats and a Republican calling for Mayor Joe Hogsett to step down. I'm sure the mayor kind of giggled as he was taking a sip of scotch last night. Maybe even let out a little burp.
I think it's cute. You think he only takes a sip. Yeah, Joe Hogsett said he is not going to resign.
No.
He's already made that clear. He put out another statement, quote, "I remain committed to continuing the important work we began nearly a year ago to ensure the confidentiality and safety of every employee, blah, 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 pass me a bottle." That's paraphrasing of what Joe Hogsett had to say. Now, keep in mind, it's the Democrats leading the charge to get Joe Hogsett to step down. From what I gather, this kind of came out of left field last night. People didn't expect Councilor Carlino.
This was at a another city county council meeting, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They did not expect the councilor to come out and make that statement. And if you watch the video, and you can find it all over social media, she's having a hard time with it. Like, she's tearing up a little bit. She's, crying just a little bit. This was tough for her.
That's a shame.
But you know what? She's doing a hell of a lot more than these no good, rotten Republicans that are on the council right now.
What was so tough about it for her? Like, in your opinion, like the fact that she had to call on Joe Hogsett to resign, like she was doing it out of duty?
I think it was tough for her because she's putting her political future on the line. Like, if we went on the air today and said, "I think our boss, David Wood, should resign," and then the executive producer, Matt Hiblin, should resign.
Oh, I'd be doing cartwheels. No, I'm kidding.
It makes for a pretty awkward, meeting in the hallway afterwards, to say the least. So she's a young lady. She's probably having a hard time with what her political future is going to be. But listen, I'm so surly and salty. I still feel like there's something else going on here. It's almost like it's a coordinated thing where these Democrats are leading the charge to get rid of Joe, because I feel like if they had another incumbent in there, they have a better chance of winning that next election.
Yeah,
now,
so like Ryan, you're talking about like the Ryan Mears situation.
Right. The previous prosecutor had passed away, so Ryan Mears gets appointed to that position, and then he gets to run as an incumbent. And because it's Marion County, because it's Indianapolis, it's 60-40, bada bing, bada boom, he wins in a landslide. Now, the mayor's race might be a little more high profile, a little different, but I still think even if Joe Hogsett ran again, he would probably win because it's Marion County.
But there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, what? So Hogsett looks at that and says, "Oh, wow, another Democratic city county councilor has called for me to resign. I better really think about resigning now." He doesn't have to do squat.
He doesn't. But it's interesting that all of a sudden now the Democrats are leading the charge on this, while, even though there's not many of them, the Republicans, aside from one counselor, are silent. They want to continue oversight, which is fancy talk for more investigations and spending more money. I'm done with spending money. I want to see some of the Republicans, whether it's Ane, whether it's Counselor Michael Paul Hart, whether it's any number of these Republicans.
There's not many.
Step up and say, look, I think we might have a better shot in the next election if he's still in office, but this guy's a creep. He's been a creep to us for years. He went missing during the riots. He knew damn well what Thomas Carl Cook was doing. Yeah. We want to taint his legacy and bring him down.
Don't use the word taint when we're talking about the harassment allegations, by the way. But he got reelected after the riots, man.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying Hogsett's laughing at you right now. He's laughing at these calls. He doesn't care. He's going to move on with his agenda and act like nothing's happened. He's going to make statements. He's going to get confronted by people that were harassed under his administration in restaurants. He's going to look at them and say, wish you the best. And that was basically, that's a I don't even know if I'm paraphrasing with the latest woman that confronted him in that restaurant, the Oakmont on Delaware. But, and he wasn't the guy that was doing the assaulting, but it was under his administration.
Right. And then he brought that guy back.
And then he brought.
This is why Counselor Carlino also wants Vop Osley and Allie Braun to resign.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because the Counselor Carlino is like, listen, this investigation, and she was part of like the group that did the investigation and reached out to the other side and got this other group involved. The report came back was a Mickey Mouse ass report. So they had nothing in there but the creepy text messages Joe Hogsett would be sending to his underlings. Nope. There was nothing at all in there about why Joe Hogsett brought back Thomas Carl Cook after staff members complained about sexual harassment to him. None of that was in the report. And oh, by the way, the people that did the report said, you still owe us $350,000 for this half-assed job that we did.
I wonder, I could just see the look on Vop Osley's face, even probably more so the vice chair, Allie Braun. Allie Brown's face when her name got mentioned. Like, was she taking a sip of coffee?
The old spit
Excuse me? when the Dem City County Council member called for her resignation as well. You know what I mean? I mean, Vop, at least he's a big-time target.
Right. He's the president of the council.
President of the council, but then Allie Braun, like, did I hear that right? What?
And she went scorched earth on Twitter afterwards. We're going to get to that here in just a second, but let's hear from Counselor Carlino. She spoke to the media after this kind of surprising council meeting last night.
Joe Hogsett must resign, and the leadership of this council needs to step down as well so that we can move forward with fidelity in implementing change and establishing a culture of trust and respect for all city workers and our constituents in the city of Indianapolis. I think it's concerning that maybe the investigation itself wasn't following the letter and the spirit of the law, which is unlawful.
Do you think it was about protecting Mayor Hogsett?
I don't know what happened, but the report determined that every decision made was legal.
Yeah.
That's fancy talk for you bet your sweet ass.
Yeah. Why'd they leave all that stuff out? That's still the big question.
Right.
That's the question. And then the firm wanted an extra $300,000.
Which they're going to get. They talked about that last night. $350,000 for a half-ass incomplete report.
Here's another $300,000 for information you did not provide us on this investigation.
The council
what
president,
a clown show.
Vop Osley, quote, I'm deeply disturbed by the accusation tonight. In no way did I have any personal influence on the scope of the contract with the law firm that investigated the misconduct in the Hogsett administration. To suggest that I did is not only false, it's an attack against my integrity and the values that I hold in every aspect of my life. Yeah, cry me a river. Here is what Counselor Ali Braun
Alejandro
threw on social media. And she was out for blood. She wanted the smoke here. She tagged Counselor Carlino. Counselor Carlino knows full well that I had no involvement in defining the scope of the investigative committee. She is also fully aware of why I did not participate in the committee she chaired or in shaping the contract for the investigation. I confided in my caucus colleagues that this situation triggered severe trauma, including flashbacks to the night I was assaulted at 18 years old in a freezing back alley. I spent years in therapy, including EMDR treatment, just to survive what happened to me. And now, Krista is weaponizing that trauma for her own political gain. It's disgraceful. I'm deeply hurt. I feel profoundly betrayed. Wah, wah, wah. Sincerely, Ali Braun.
How is, okay, wow. I mean, if Ali Braun experienced some trauma on the level that they're talking about is one thing, but how is that weaponizing? How is this Counselor Krista Carlino weaponizing that?
Right. That's a Biden move.
I don't.
Whenever somebody died
that to me.
around Joe Biden, he'd bring it back to his son.
Yeah.
Well, that has nothing to do with what's going on here. I'm sorry what happened to Ali Braun. I don't wish that upon anybody. I wish that never would have happened to her, but that has nothing to do with this investigation and Joe Hogsett. So quit trying to be the professional victim here and focus on the task at hand. Like, I don't know any of these people. I probably disagree politically about 99% of the time with all the people we've mentioned, but I'm kind of Team Carlino on this one. I did reach out to Counselor Carlino to see if she wanted to come on this show and defend herself, because you've got Ali Braun and Vop Osley basically calling her a liar. Sent an email to her council email address.
How'd that go?
Never heard back. Pretty sure she's doing the same thing to that email that Joe Hogsett is doing to all the calls for him to resign. Oh, yeah, sounds great. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
East side, southbound 465 crash after I-70, blocking the right lane and slowing traffic to that 70 interchange. Also, northbound 465 crash at Fall Creek, blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Pendleton Pike. That is a 5-minute delay. The construction delay of southbound 6570 jammed from the north split down to the south split, moving in parts, delay at 2 minutes right now. Eastbound 70 slows after Harding into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance, insurance for motorcycles, boats, and RVs. For protection on the road and on the water, see how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, we got some tornado warnings in part of the state. Could see some nasty, severe weather. You know me. I'm a weather dork. We're on top of this. We are going to keep you up to date, especially as things start to move into central Indy. Right now, sunshine and 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You have to trust your financial advisors 100% and 100% of the time. I have that confidence in my fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth. Matt Bear here. Hey, I've talked about Trajan for a while now. I'm a client. I work with Jeff here in the downtown office, and I feel like family. No pressure, no confusing jargon, just honesty and ideas on how to put my retirement goals first. Call Trajan Wealth. Meet the team. Set your first appointment. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth helped me build a real plan. Very little guesswork and peace of mind. Peace of mind. It's glorious. They explained everything, gave me options, and never once tried to sell me something I didn't need. Call today and learn more. 317 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. 317-480-4040. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text TEAR to 369-369. That's TEAR to 369-369. TEAR to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Halliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 3/10 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Game 6 of the finals return to Indy and a must-win for the Pacers. It's time to rock the fieldhouse with the best fans in the NBA. Get your tickets at Pacers.com/playoffs. Pacers Thunder, Game 6, Thursday at 8:30. Pacers finals presented by KeyBank, Kroger, and Starry.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Group can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So is Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers going to play tomorrow night, Hammer?
Game time decision, according to head coach Rick Carlisle. He called into our sister sports station, The Fan, this morning and said that he was going to go through practice, which he did today. And but today's kind of just a walkthrough. Game's tomorrow, so it's not a hard practice. But he was out there on the court, going through the walkthrough, getting all the treatment, and it will be a game time decision. After the practice, Tyrese Halliburton went up to the podium and spoke to reporters about his condition.
Practice today, did what I could. I know Coach just told you guys what the process will be tomorrow for me to play. And, yeah, we're just taking it from there.
Are you dealing with the strain?
Yeah.
So he confirms it is a strained calf.
Isn't that what you had a couple weeks ago?
Dude, it's no joke. Now, I'm not, this may be a shocker to you. I'm not as athletic as Tyrese Halliburton.
What?
But
what are you talking about?
Dude, I was in a world of hurt. I was hobbling around here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But now imagine having to chase Shai Gilgeous-Alexander all over the court with that. I can't imagine. So We'll find out. Can the Pacers force a Game 7?
It's a must-win.
Finally, that's true. Yes. Some people say must win when it's not really a must win. This one is. If you lose, season's over. They're the champs. But again, I've gone from Mr. Negativity to Mr. Brightside.
I like it.
Pacers in 7.
I'll take it.
Pacers in 7. They win tomorrow. They take it back to OKC. Pacers in 7. And I think it was comedian Brian Regan who once talked about how sports are fascinated with Game 7s.
Well, we have the basketball playoffs and the hockey playoffs happening. I always love whenever there's a best-of-7 series because then I get to hear my favorite sports reporter question. Would you consider this a must-win game? They always feel like they have to say yes. Yeah, we want to win it. It's very important, you know. Got our uniforms on anyway, might as well try. But it's not always the right answer, man. It's a math question. I wish I would answer that question honestly. It's a best-of-7. You're down 1 game to nothing. Would you consider this a must-win game? No. No, we can lose tonight. We can lose tomorrow night, too. We don't want to, but that wasn't your question. You asked if it was a must-win game, and if you'd ever taken a rudimentary math class, you'd already know the magic number's 3. When you're down 3, then you must win them or you're out.
Good point. The great Brian Regan.
Oh, man. Forget Theo Vaughn and Nate Bargatze. Brian Regan is my favorite comedian. Has been for years. He is hilarious.
So while the Pacers are gearing up for a must-win game, how about the Fever last night? That was a spirited affair down at the field house. So Caitlin Clark basically gets treated like Apollo Creed in Rocky IV in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looked like a pinball machine almost.
But the officials lost control of the game. They didn't kick out this big, strong, butch-looking blonde chick that just gave her a forearm shiver to the ground. They allowed her to stay in the game. And what bothered me, Nige, is the other teammates that were on the floor didn't really rush to, defend Caitlin.
I noticed that. Not until later, anyway.
Right.
But at the moment, it was kind of like last season. We talked about this problem.
The only person it seems like that sticks up for her on that team is, again, my future ex-wife, Sophie Cunningham. She got into the game in the fourth quarter and got a little revenge on one of the people that had smacked her upside the head.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're playing the feud.
Yeah,
there's hair pulling, there's trash talk, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So good for Sophie. But after the game, Fever head coach Stephanie White not happy with the officials.
I'll take the official questions. There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing. Right, when the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. It's not just this game; it's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete, and they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition. So. I started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better. They got to be better.
At one point later on in the game, Nige, because that happened pretty early on, where Caitlin got knocked down, poked in the eye, shoved to the ground.
Yeah.
Caitlin gets back at him. She hits a big, long three-pointer right in the face of one of these girls.
Logo 3.
They start woofing trash to each other, timeout. And then, God bless her, Caitlin goes full Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire. Like, after he gets up from the touchdown.
I saw it, yeah.
She's running around the stadium, firing up fans. Like, they had to bring her over back to the timeout. She was too busy working the crowd. Here's Caitlin after the game.
Everybody knows that's how I play. Like, I want the crowd behind me. Like, they love when I get into it with them, too. Like, they're here for a show, and, like, that's what I try to give them every single night. That's what we try to give them every single night, and that's what makes it fun. And people spend a lot of money and time to come to these games, and, like, this is a Tuesday night game. I think it's Tuesday. And this place is basically full, and there's so many young girls and young boys and adults and older men that, this might be their first WNBA game ever, and like you want to perform for them. So that's one of my favorite parts of, getting to go out there and compete every single night is, kind of getting to interact with the fans and like being an entertainer in a way.
That was a spectacular answer.
Yes.
That was an incredible answer from a very young 22, 23 years old. That was incredible.
She is way too smart to take the bait.
Yes.
Which is why we've created AI Caitlin Clark to say what she really wanted to say.
Look, the ugly heifers are not on my level. Plus, they may be some of the stupidest people I have ever seen. They are playing in front of a sold-out crowd. And guess what, sister? It ain't because of Angel Reese. I'm a bad mama and the cash cow. Those other jealous chicks, they're just cows. The thing about me is I make millions because I hit three-pointers from the logo. Meanwhile, these untalented and jealous witches have to have part-time jobs at Dairy Queen in the off-season. Shout out to Sophie. Someone finally had my back. It was nice to see her hit that chick, pull her hair, and trash talk her. Sad thing is, I bet the other chick liked it. Well, I gotta run. I have a league to carry. AI Caitlin out.
AI Caitlin Clark.
Bravo.
On the Hammer and Nigel show.
American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. They have quality products. I had an American Standard air conditioner installed in my house. I only use American Standard local independent dealers when we're talking about maintaining that equipment. Here's one that Hammer's going to tell you about.
How about B&W HVAC, plumbing, and electrical? Be sure to join B&W's Premier Club today. Stay ahead of breakdowns, costly repairs. Premier Club members get hooked up. You get to have the benefit of routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts. That's right, they save you money. B&W. Call them today. Ask about becoming a Premier Club member. 317-214-0108. That's 317-214-0108. Or visit bplusw.com. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Tired of hard water stains, dry skin, or smelly water? Well or City Water, C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, gives you softer water, cleaner drinking water, with no more taste and odor issues thanks to a high-efficiency water softener, advanced water treatment, and reverse osmosis systems. Make every drop in your home pure, fresh, and worry-free. Best prices of the year right now with C&J's Well Water Bundles and City Water Bundles. C&J, for great systems, great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More attacks in the Middle East. Weather is a concern this afternoon with a tornado watch in effect for most of Indiana until 8 o'clock tonight. The line of thunderstorms that is headed this way in Illinois just the last hour, producing a tornado-warned storm near Champaign. That line of storms is advancing on Indianapolis and the metro. Some storms have started to form out ahead of it, and those storms were already showing some potency. They were just to the west of the Indianapolis metro. It's 83 degrees downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Iran attacks Israel again. Trey Yingst is in Tel Aviv.
Last night, they launched around 30 ballistic missiles toward this city and others, but many of them were intercepted by advanced air defense systems. The concern here is that they will continue these small barrages in an effort to drag out this conflict. But we do know, according to the IDF, they've been able to take out many of the launching positions, and this has reduced the Iranian ability to target Israel, but it's certainly not destroyed the threat. And that is the concern here for the population. While the Home Front Command has issued new directives to civilians saying that people can go back to work, they have still kept schools closed across this country because there's an understanding that this could drag out for a number of days.
President Trump telling reporters today that he is still unsure about whether he plans to order a strike against Iran. There's growing tensions between the two countries. Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Rod Dermer telling Fox's America Reports he expects the president to act within the best interests of the U.S., but he doesn't expect him to be intimidated by Iran's supreme leader.
America's an enemy of Iran. You know, they call Israel the little Satan. They call America the great Satan. These guys in Iran, they ordered a hit on the president of the United States, on President Trump. So I don't think he's going to be scared by the leader of Tehran and what he says, the leader of Iran.
The Iranian leader warning any American military involvement would bring irreparable damage to U.S. assets in the region. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You love the summer in Indy, so don't ruin it painting. Do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you can get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, northeast side crash clear on I-465 heading in the northbound direction at Fall Creek. That has cleared up. Also crash clear southbound 465 after I-70 on the east side. Right now, northbound lanes stop and go from 70 to Penn Pike. Southbound lanes are slow from 70 to Washington Street. Crash downtown, eastbound 70 after west left lane closed. Traffic backed up to Belmont, delayed 6 minutes. Southbound 65-70 jammed from the north split down to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with a purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Strong to severe thunderstorms possible this afternoon. Could contain some heavy rainfall, incredibly gusty winds. It's going to be warm and humid with highs today into the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Iran's leaders rejecting calls to surrender. What's their problem? Like, what more do they need to know? Like, I understand the problem, you know, the chance, death to America, death to Israel. They don't like the Jews at all. They've got big problems. They're an oppressive regime that is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, Hezbollah, Hamas. But, they just got their asses handed to them.
I love you asked them what's wrong with them, then rattled off 18 different things that was wrong with them.
But the question is what's wrong with them in terms of rejecting calls to surrender or come to some sort of negotiation, come back to the table with Trump.
I don't believe they're very smart, Nige. They're too proud. They're not smart. So they would rather go down in a, quote, blaze of glory than do anything to placate the West, as it's known as.
I don't think they want to go down in a blaze of glory. I mean, that's a great song from Bon Jovi. but I don't think they want to. I don't think they want that either.
Name the movie that was on. It was on a soundtrack.
Young Guns
2.
Oh, damn it!
Young Guns 2. Yes,
got me.
But yeah, I think the old Ayatollah of rock and roll, he's going to continue hiding down there, but he's willing to sacrifice all of his people to say, look, we're proud Iranian people.
His
even
people
though all of
hate
them
him.
are dead.
His people, but the citizens hate the leadership in Iran.
Yes, they got a little, I don't want to say uprising brewing, because the older folks in Iran, they're kind of like the, hey, let's go Ayatollah, Ayatollah. And then the younger folks are like, why can't we be like Saudi Arabia and just be rich off gas and not piss people off as much? We can still be, bigoted,
Absolutely.
hateful bastards, but can we not pick fights and wars?
Billions of dollars worth of oil in Iran, and yet they're this oppressive regime that hates their citizens and Israel and would totally use a nuclear weapon if they got their hands on one.
Now, last night, as we told you before we got off the air last night, the Iran state media, they were promising a big night, something that the rest of the world was going to remember for centuries. All they did was fire a bunch of missiles off that were all intercepted, and there was no damage. They pulled an Anthony Richardson last night. They had a bunch of missiles go up, and they were all picked off.
It was a bigger surprise than that scene in Total Recall, where it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and that old woman's face, get ready for a surprise. And that was a bigger surprise than what I read.
Absolutely. Are you ready for missiles? The Iron Dome was like, yeah, we're kind of ready for it. I mean, some of those missiles in the past had gotten through.
Yes.
But last night, no damage. No damage at all for their night to remember,
And they're
to quote Porky's.
And they're good reference.
Thank
wow. But they were targeting civilian population as well.
Correct.
Israel was targeting specific and strategic, precise military installations and uranium enrichment sites and military leaders, while they were targeting Tel Aviv.
Israel is lapping the field, to use a racing term, because they're now killing the people that were replaced from the first killing. We had that story yesterday. There was some leader that got blown off the map, and they replaced him. And then yesterday, Israel blew that dude up.
Yeah, I mean, like it's Darth Vader in Star Wars. He strangles the guy that screwed up, and then all right, you're up next. And then he strangles that guy because he screwed up, and then like the third guy's crapping his pants. You're up next.
Next man up, buddy.
Chuck Pagano, next man up.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says that sanctuary cities that had damage from the anti-ICE riots will not receive federal dollars. Quote, not one penny. If you are a sanctuary city and riots took place, you're not going to get federal money to fix it.
Yeah.
You want to be a sanctuary city? You want to go against policy? Well, you guys can fix it. I'm good with that.
Well, it's a shame for the business owners, the people that don't have the same ideals as the rioters, the people that are brought in, the agitators, the maybe the paid political influencers that are brought in. It's a shame for the people whose businesses were destroyed.
Right.
For sure.
But I wonder how many that don't agree with that ideology. And I'm sure there are some, but I'm willing to bet a lot of these people that had windows broken probably voted for the same people that allowed that to happen. I mean, look here in Indy. The Indy Chamber of Commerce endorsed Joe Hogsett in the last election. The same Joe Hogsett that was willing to have all these businesses on the circle looted, windows broke, fires sat.
Maybe you could have made an excuse the first night, no excuse the second night. And I'm not sure you could make an excuse the first night for those riots in downtown Indianapolis. And you're telling me the Chamber of Commerce, oh, yeah, we're good to go with Hogsett. It's fine.
That's our guy.
Yep.
Speaking of illegals, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she wants to give $50 million of taxpayer money to lawyers of illegal aliens.
that are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
$50 million bucks.
It's not like they're dragging people that are innocent. These are criminals that they're deporting.
Right.
Okay.
Do law-abiding citizens get free attorneys in New York?
Yeah.
Do the folks that came in this country illegally get free lawyers in New York? I'm willing to bet the answer is no.
They're deporting mainly and mostly criminal illegal aliens that have broken the law, that are wanted, or that have previously broken the law and that are now out. And it's time for them to go. But Kathy Hochul, this is the same lady that in 2021 wore the necklace. Do you remember what her necklace said when she was being virtuous about COVID? All the necklace said was vaxxed.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Vaxxed.
She looked like some sort of vampire.
She is a robot. Yes. Absolutely.
Vaxula. She's nuts. Nigel, all
she's
of
a
this
weirdo.
Serious stuff here, all of these idiots make me want to have a drink. And if you need a reason to drink tonight, how about this? Today is National Fishing Day.
Fishing Day.
National Fishing Day.
Not much of a fisher, but okay.
Get on the boat, get out in the lake, drink about 15 beers, and not catch a damn thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of my definition of fishing.
I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I was little with my old man on the weekends and go fishing out at his buddy's pond.
Okay.
Yeah, we were with those guys that you would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And my son Connor loves to fish.
That's awesome.
I just don't know what I'm doing.
I don't either. Great Jeff Foxworthy joke. If you're too drunk to fish, you may be a redneck. I put together a 7-song montage. These are songs about fishing.
Okay.
They're predominantly country songs, okay?
You think?
Yeah, not a lot of hip-hop songs.
Not a lot of songs by Metallica about fishing.
Right. 7-song montage. How many songs about fishing do you think producer Allison knows? I've set the over-under at 4.5. Under 4.5.
Yeah, I might come to regret
I don't know.
that.
Allison likes country music.
Yeah.
I do.
Can I change
Especially
my answer?
older.
You can change your answer.
We'll go over.
Over 4.5.
Over 4.5.
Okay. Honor system as always. If you recognize the song, Allison, just say so. Here we go.
And she thinks we're just fishing.
Trace Adkins, there's one.
I wouldn't have got that one.
Fishing, loving every day.
Yes.
That's the bread and a
Luke Bryan.
Big Bryan.
Jeff Boggs' favorite.
Jeff Boggs somewhere's turning it up.
Fishing, loving every day. I was calling number 5 on
Yes.
the radio station.
Luke Combs.
4-day, 3-night beach vacation.
Deep sea fishing.
Fishing down in Panama.
3 for 3.
Yes.
Maddie and Tay. 4.
Not have gotten this one.
Friday after 5.
Yeah.
Got here just in time. Went ahead and with a line.
She might run the table.
Lost my mind and I ain't
Morgan
been
Wallen?
here
Is that who that is?
long, but the bobbers in the pond
No.
going up, down.
Who is that?
Up, down, up, down. Might have been.
Yes.
You'll come running back.
6.
He can't even bait a hook.
Of course.
In the dark.
7 for 7,
I
baby.
forgot of that song.
Yeah, it's Morgan Wallen, by the way.
Morgan
It was?
Wallen.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
good
one.
call.
The couple.
Morgan Wallen with Florida Georgia line, I believe, to be precise.
You and me go fishing in the dark. What's the
Nitty Gritty Dirt
Nitty
Band.
Gritty Dirt Band. I knew.
7 for 7. Well done.
Fishing Day.
Yes.
National Fishing Day.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings. My Galaxy Concrete coated garage floor is out of this world. In fact, Galaxy did such an awesome job in turning my garage floor into something that was just disgusting. It had never been maintained. It was cracked and stained. You wouldn't believe the before and after pictures. They just turned it into something 4 times stronger, easy to clean, tons of different colors and patterns to choose from. And they did such a good job. I had them back to do my utility room, the concrete there in my basement as well. Check out the website, get a quote, see some pictures, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070. Tell them Nigel sent you. Hey, what's your favorite exhibit at the Indianapolis Zoo? Mine's got to be, hands down, the dolphin shows. They're awesome. Sun's out, animals are out. Let's make it a zoo day. The Indianapolis Zoo is the perfect summer escape, and AAA Hoosier Motor Club is helping you get there and beyond. AAA has now officially partnered with the Indianapolis Zoo, bringing exclusive new perks. Like all year long, AAA members can save up to 35% on general admission e-tickets.
Going to the Indianapolis Zoo, always a blast. Same with going on vacation. So if you're planning a summer road trip or maybe a staycation, it might be the perfect time to join AAA. Plus, if you run into trouble on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas, lock your keys in the car. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. So this summer, do yourself a favor and join AAA today. Visit AAA.com for more information about the new Indianapolis Zoo partnership and other great member savings.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:15 for eastern Vigo, Clay, northwestern Owens, southeastern, south central Montgomery, and western Putnam counties. At 3:47, severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from 12 miles southwest of Crawfordsville to 10 miles southeast of Brazil, moving northeast at 65 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail were located. This includes impacted locations like Greencastle, Brazil, Rockville, Sealyville, Ladoga, Rochdale, Knightsville, Clay City, Bainbridge, Harmony, Staunton, Carbon, Russellville, Center Point, Riley, Carpentersville, Bridgeton, Reelsville, Saline City, and Kegels Mill Lake. Also Tipton in this area. This includes Interstate 70 between mile markers 13 and 39. We also have a tornado watch that remains in effect until 8 o'clock this evening for West Central Indiana.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days. Honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today, 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned, Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss. M-O-S-S. MossRoofing.com.
Pierce Jewelers is the best family-owned jewelry store in Carmel. All jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom design are done in-house. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
If you're pressed for time, the WIBC Mashup Podcast is your shortcut to the smartest, sharpest, and strangest moments on air. It's the best content from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Updated daily. Find the WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
We got a big, nasty line of storms coming through. We're going to keep you up to date on all of the weather. Matt Baer, on the other hand, he's got the roads.
Yeah, Hammer, looking at downtown, eastbound 70 after west. It's a crash in the fast lane. Left lane blocked. Traffic stop and go back to Belmont. Delay at 4 minutes. On the east side, southbound 465 crash at the 70 interchange. And that's slowing us down past I-70, not quite to Penn Pike. Inbound 70 slows after rural into the north split. Southbound 65-70. Construction delay of 6 minutes from the north split to the south split. And inbound 65 grinding from 21st to Meridian Penn. Those northbound lanes are slow out of the north split up to 21st Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Went a little long there. We had some severe weather coverage we had to break into. So Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little time out here. We're going to get all the updated warnings and watches and hell breaking loose. We're going to give you that information. And then right around 4:15, we're scheduled to be joined by the governor, Mike Braun. So all that's coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, you thinking about selling your home, thinking about buying a home, call the only local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, the Hammer and Nigel Show. We're talking about Mark Dietl. Mark Dietl has been through every situation you could think of. He caters to your specific needs. John in Greencastle had just bought his house, but then his son moved an hour away, and he was also 45 minutes from work. Kind of felt like he made a mistake, and he's stuck there since he'd only been there for less than a year. Not with the Mark Dietl team. They delivered big. House sold in 14 days for the price he needed so he could move closer to family and work.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today. Ask about that guarantee. 317-755-4232 or go to markdietl.com. Mark D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Monroe County and south central Indiana, Morgan County, northwestern Brown County, Hendricks County, northeastern Owen County, western Marion County, southern Boone County, southeastern Montgomery County, and Putnam County until 4:45 this afternoon. At 3:53, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 9 miles south of Crawfordsville to 12 miles northwest of Spencer, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail, the main hazards to watch out for. You can expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. The locations impacted include Indianapolis, Plainfield, Brownsburg, Zionsville, Martinsville, Speedway, Greencastle, Mooresville, Danville, Spencer, Avon, Pittsboro, Whitestown, Cloverdale, Brooklyn, Claremont, Monrovia, Morgantown, Clayton, and Jamestown. That includes I-65 between mile markers 120 and 133, I-70 between mile markers 36 and 74, and I-74 between mile markers 52 and 73. And remain alert for a possible tornado because tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. There is a tornado watch in effect in this area until 8 o'clock tonight for central, south central, and west central Indiana. There's also a tornado warning for parts of northern Indiana going on now until 4:15 this afternoon. Keep it locked right here on 93 WIBC.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your wall.
Work is performed. See website for details.
Got plans this weekend? Why not head to Honeysuckle Hill Bistro in Brazil, Indiana? Honeysuckle Hill Bistro is located inside our family's lakeside home. The menu changes weekly, and whether it's chicken to wine, we focus on serving Indiana-sourced items. One thing that's always on the menu is our version of the Hoosier breaded tenderloin sandwich. Can't decide what to order? You can order the Bites Plate, where you get a sampling of everything that's on the week's menu. Honeysuckle Hill Bistro serves dinner Fridays and Saturdays 5 to 8 and Sunday brunch buffet from 11 to 2.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Her police officer boyfriend just finding her not guilty of second-degree murder, manslaughter, and leaving the scene of an accident. She was convicted on drunk driving.
The case was really based entirely on, did Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with the vehicle? And ultimately, that decision, that could not be decided by this jury.
Fox's Brian Yennis at the courthouse in Dedham. The defense arguing Reed was framed after dropping O'Keefe off at a fellow officer's house party.
As to whether or not the broken taillight on the snow where John O'Keefe's body was found was placed there, framed there by police. There was questions about that. There were questions about the injuries on John O'Keefe. Looked like he was bitten by a dog. The lack of blood. Experts that said, you know, it doesn't look like that he was hit with a vehicle. All of that added up to ultimately enough reasonable doubt here, obviously, to have found Karen Reed not guilty on all the charges except for driving under the influence.
A crowd of Reed supporters outside the courthouse erupting in cheers after the verdict. Reed's first trial ended with a deadlocked jury. She offered thanks a short time ago for emotional and financial support and said no one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than her team. President Trump just telling reporters he hasn't made a decision about joining Israeli airstrikes on Iran.
If it's a choice between fighting and them having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do.
Only the U.S. military has so-called bunker buster bombs that could reach a key Iranian nuclear site deep underground. The president says it's not too late for Iran to make a deal, but Iran's supreme leader rejects his call for unconditional surrender. A mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow down 44 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The possibility of tornadoes. Severe thunderstorms approaching Indianapolis from the west right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the following counties. That includes Carroll County, southeastern Fountain County, eastern Tippecanoe County, Clinton County, Howard County, northeastern Park County, Boone County, western Tipton County, and Montgomery County. These warnings in effect until 4:30. This is part of the same line of storms that did have some tornadic history to it as it came across the border into Indiana, and in fact had some tornado-warned storms in Lafayette County not too long ago. 83 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A suspect shot and killed. A 33-year-old Chesterton police officer shot and in the hospital.
It's not every day you come to work and you get involved in an officer-involved shooting.
Chesterton Police Chief Tim Richardson.
The bravery of these officers for protecting our community, protecting what might have been going on in that hotel.
The shooting was this morning at the Hilton Garden Inn on Gateway Boulevard just after 8 o'clock. Police responded to a call about a suspicious man and were met with gunfire. In a Senate hearing.
And the Army released the survey in 2023 that claimed that young Americans' fear of discrimination drove away more recruits than wokeness. And wokeness was a big indicator, too, in that survey.
Indiana Senator Jim Banks talking with Defense Secretary Pete Hogsett about changes in the military recruiting model, which he and Hogsett credit for recruitment being up dramatically. A Purdue University research professor offering his take on tariffs. Jarrett Lewis has more.
Channing Arndt is director of the Global Trade Analysis Project, which is housed at Purdue University. He spoke to the Associated Press recently and gave a basic breakdown of what tariffs really do.
The main idea behind tariffs is to stimulate domestic production. That's typically it.
The U.S. has made tariffs a more common practice. Arndt believes consumers will be taking on higher costs of labor-intensive goods for quite some time because of them.
Again, severe storms approaching from the west. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Boone County in the Indianapolis metro and several other counties in a line that is bearing down on the city. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, on the east side, crash pushed out of the interstate southbound 465 after I-70. Crash Beach Grove, Emerson Avenue, south of 465. Inbound 65 slows, 21st to Meridian Penn. Then the construction delay running southbound 65-70 is 6 minutes from the north split to the south split. And westbound 70 is backed up from the split to rural. Eastbound 70 coming into downtown for the west side stop-and-go traffic. Harding into Meridian, Illinois, delayed 4 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive and get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Hey, Hammer.
Yo.
Want to hear from a doofus?
Please.
Minnesota Democratic Rep Ilhan Omar unhinged in a rant against one of the worst places on the face of this earth.
Whiteland? Sorry, it's a joke, Whiteland. I love you. It's a joke.
I was going to say Somalia, where she sought asylum, where her family fled. But no. A rant against America and the United States, quote, turning into one of the worst countries on earth.
I mean, I grew up in a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that.
Oh, stop it.
To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president is spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade. It is really shocking, and it should be a wake-up call for all Americans to say this is not the country we were born in. This is not the country we believe in. This is not the country our founding fathers imagined.
Yeah, I got bad news for you. As bad as you think America is, Somalia, where you sought refuge, you escaped Somalia in the Civil War. I'm going to say at least 10 times worse there. Probably
being pretty
still.
Generous.
Is 10 a good roundabout number?
I'd go 304, but that's just me.
And, just a side note, Ilhan Omar, one of the classic anti-Semites.
Correct.
In Congress with, accusing Jews of harboring dual loyalties, one of the oldest anti-Semitic tropes there are. The evil Jewish money influencing politicians is something she's on record as talking about. I just, when somebody like her complains that this country is worse than the country that she escaped from. She escaped from Somalia.
She flies first class around the country on taxpayer money, probably eats free meals, gets to stay in the Four Seasons and visit the spa, probably on taxpayer money as well. But yet I'm sure Somalia has those same accommodations awaiting Ilhan Omar if she were to go down there. I'm sure that's the case. Again, morons are going to do moron things. Hey, let's get you up to date on some weather happenings right now. We have tornado warnings in Cass and Fulton counties. If you look at the radar right now, big, long, nasty line of storms north to south starting to make its way across central Indy.
Oh, man, no family bike ride tonight when I get home, huh?
No family bike ride. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the west side of Indy, along with Avon, Martinsville, Brownsburg, Greencastle, Spencer, Coatesville, and Paragon until 4:45. Do we have John Herrick standing by? All right, here's another update. We've got information coming in fast and furious. Let's go to John Herrick in the newsroom.
Thank you, Hammer. More on what you were talking about a moment ago. The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Monroe County, western Morgan County, northwestern Brown County, Owen County, and eastern Greene County. That is until 4:45. At 4:05, a severe thunderstorm was located over Spencer, or 18 miles northwest of Bloomington, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts are being reported. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter, so make sure you are mindful of that. Locations impacted include Bloomington, Martinsville, Bloomfield, Spencer, Ellettsville, Monrovia, Gosport, Paragon, Steinsville, Mahalsville, Indiana University, Quincy, Helmsburg, McCormick's Creek State Park, Lake Lemon, Freedom, Salisbury, DeVore, Unionville, and Whitehall. Remain alert for a possible tornado because tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. And if you spot one, go at once into a basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. And reminder, that tornado watch remains in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for South Central, Central, Southwestern, and West Central Indiana.
All right. Again, a lot of nasty stuff on the radar. You want to keep it right here to 93 WIBC all afternoon. We're going to have you covered with the weather. We're on top of it. The newsroom with John Herrick's on top of it. As for the road conditions, we've got Matt Bear standing by. Matt, we got 80-mile-an-hour winds in some places. People got to be careful, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Hammer. Please take it easy tonight and especially turn on your lights if you are in the rain. That's very important. Now, we do have a crash clear. Now, on the east side, it's southbound 465 after I-70, all lanes open, but we continue to be slow down to I-74. Westbound 70, stop-and-go traffic from rural into the north split. That construction delay of southbound 6570 is jammed for a 7-minute delay. North split down to the south split. In from the west side, eastbound 70, stop-and-go Harding into the south split, delayed 4 minutes. Northwest side, northbound 465, slow into 865. Making east, you'll be slow over to Michigan Road. And inbound 69, slow roll from 96 to 82nd. Crash northwest side, it's Michigan Road at 79th. Traffic sponsored by Cancer Support Community. Don't miss Laughing Matters featuring Howie Mandel on July 12th at Old National Center in downtown Indy. The show benefits Cancer Support Community. Get tickets and details at oldnationalcenter.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Lots of watches and warnings in place. Again, we're going to get you up to date all throughout the afternoon. Please don't go anywhere. It's 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And up next, in studio, Governor Mike Braun. Got a lot of topics. We'll try to get through as many as we can. That is next.
How about American Standard Heating and Air? they're built to a higher standard. I only use American Standard heating and air equipment, and I definitely only use licensed, local, independent American Standard dealers here in Central Indy.
Check out Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning in Pittsboro. Kirby, they've been in the business for well over 3 decades. Lloyd and Jessica Kirby, they are the founders of this great, awesome family-run business, and now their sons, Robert and Adam, they are carrying on the tradition of excellent service and pride in their work. Kirby hooking up Hendricks and the surrounding counties. The reason they choose to install American Standard products? Quality. It's that simple. So make sure that AC is good to go for the summer. Contact Kirby at 317-892-3614. 892-3614, or go to KirbyHeating.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special beer-drinking guest in the studio.
He is the governor of the great state of Indiana. Governor Mike Braun joins us. And when you come in the studio, most, I'm sure, talk shows ask you, would you like water? Nigel greets you, you want a beer?
You ain't got to drive that helicopter home. No. You're not operating that thing, so you're fine. It's after 4 o'clock. You're good, right?
Shape.
You're in good shape.
Thank you for the libation.
Cheers. Cheers, boys.
I thought we were going to crack these open for you to announce your presidential run. Isn't that a thing that we're hearing now? Like you're going to run for president?
Well, I guess that means there are a lot of folks that would maybe like you to, but hell, I didn't know anything about it.
Come on. So you saw that and you didn't know where that came from?
No, you get all kinds of stuff that folks will kind of drum up to create a conversation. So, no, I didn't. I had to make it clear that I'm interested in this job, getting things done. So.
Okay, because that's a thing that was on social media for a while, and social media is never wrong, Governor.
You always got to look at the source of it, too.
Right.
All right, let's get down to some business here. This past weekend, we saw a number of protests in downtown Indy. For the most part, I think everything went pretty smooth. No windows broken, none of that kind of stuff. Out in L.A., it was vastly different. In the event, things got L.A.-like in Indy. Would you have called in the National Guard?
You mean like it was maybe 5 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't just L.A., that was across the country. And I remember being in a committee hearing where I asked Attorney General Merrick Garland, were you going to pursue the folks that were burning up our inner cities across, 20 cities or so?
Is that all?
Said, yeah, I'll pursue that just as much as, of course, the main topic would have been the J6ers. So that never materialized, and there was more damage, more lives lost in that, and it was completely overlooked by the administration. And this was done mostly probably to be preemptive, so you didn't have a repeat again of what happened 5 years ago.
Your predecessor, I think, viewed things a little differently. There was an angry mob that was going up toward the governor's residence. It was all broadcast on television about 5 years ago. The individual leading that angry mob ended up getting a one-on-one meet and greet, Malik Muhammad, who's now charged with trying to murder a police officer, and he's locked up on the West Coast. I don't think that would have played out the same way under your run as governor.
No, I think that I ran on public safety and law and order, and whenever there's a possibility, if you're not going to make it clear that there'll be consequences, I think this past weekend could have gotten really out of hand. And I saw what happened where they tackled one of my ex-associates in the Senate, and, that was done, I think, create a publicity stunt. When he crashed
was that the Christy Noem thing?
Yeah, that was Alex.
Did you know that guy?
Yeah, I mean, he was there the either 2 or 4 years that I was in the Senate, and mild-mannered, but in this case, he was probably just trying to make a point, same way that Chris Van Hollen did when he went down to, where was it, El Salvador, and had tea or coffee with...
margaritas with the Maryland man.
The Maryland man. Right.
So there are all kinds of, I think that clearly to more than half of the country doesn't make sense. And I think that what Trump's trying to do is make sure that for the people that crossed into the country illegally and committed crimes once you were here, find out how you're going to go exit out of the country. And you can see that there are certain cities, L.A., Chicago, New York City, they're going to make it difficult because they're going to start congregating there even more if they know that it's a sanctuary. And this administration isn't accepting that as a reason that they're not going to go in. I'm glad to see it.
Would it have been tough to overrule a mayor in Indiana? Because the mayor in Indianapolis would not want the National Guard. No matter how much hell is breaking loose, Joe Hogsett would not want the National Guard. Would you be willing to have a talk with Joe or just say, sit this one out, kid, I'm pulling rank?
Depends on what happens. If it stays peaceful, you got to respect it. I'm a big First Amendment individual. We got that whole issue playing out down at IU where that's an issue. You got to be able to say what you think, even if you don't like it. But once it turns violent, or I go back again to the summer of 20, when we were literally burning down, our inner cities. Here we had a mild version of it, but it was severe enough to where we weren't handling it with our own police force. And if your mayor, who was responsible for it, I would have felt comfortable with bringing in reinforcements in my own office down on Pennsylvania Street. Had it not been 3/4-inch glass that was put in there as a precaution, that thing would have been looted.
Hey, and we could get back to state issues in just a second. I know this is, you're the governor of the United States, the governor of Indiana, and I'm wondering, in the capital city, are you aware, is it on your radar that the administration in Marion County and Mayor Hogsett, it's in disarray right now? It's kind of a mess, and I'm just wondering if you have a comment on what you're seeing with all that. We had another Democrat city county councilman call for Mayor Hogsett's resignation. I just wonder, in the city, in your capital, are you aware of this, and do you have a comment on it? What do you think?
I think the issue that he's dealing with, if that would be a Republican, I mean, it would be pants on fire. I mean, it would be significantly different. The issue when you've got not only Republicans, now Democrats that are weighing in, you're on that tipping point of, what could happen. So In my case, I want to draw the stark distinction between the way the city was running before that administration got elected. And I've been around Joe. We've done stuff together where you had to both be there. What he's dealing with is one thing. What I'm more concerned about would be the potholes per linear mile. The fact that when I was here in 15, 16, and 17 as a legislator, I think he got elected in 15. That was the first time I ever noticed that homeless were out on the street, and it got worse over those 3 years. So a lot of things are not like they used to be. And I think that should be the clear observation from Marion County residents, and especially folks that live in the city. And the politics have shifted in a different direction despite all those issues. So how he deals with the issue on the table, we'll see. Looks like it's getting dicey.
We're speaking with Governor Mike Braun, joining us in studio here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Tornado warning in Hendricks County, by the way. Tornado warning in Hendricks County. We're keeping you up to date on the weather as well. Governor, since the last time we spoke, the state of Indiana executed Benjamin Ritchie. He was the cop killer from my hometown of Beech Grove, Indiana. I knew the family. I knew the widow. Our kids played baseball together. I know that was something the family had been wanting to have happen for a long time. Since then, you've said you're open to the idea of talking about the death penalty. Some people took that as you're wavering on it or maybe getting soft on it. What is your stance on it?
When I say I'm open, I'm going to listen and talk about any issue that might come to the forefront that looks like it's different from the dynamic that may have immediately preceded it. But it was crystal clear to me of what needed to happen here. And, of course, we went through the whole thing where Holcomb had bought 3 doses at $300,000 a pop, and I think 2 of them expired on the shelf. That would be one issue. The other issue would be I'm going to always default towards what law enforcement ends up bringing to the table, what the judicial system then says is justice. And when you go through all the time, you've got to relitigate it. And like this one, for the very details you've just mentioned, I would always want to have that probably on the table. How you use it and in what instances, as long as there's a lot of process in case there was evidence that would come to the forefront, that's different. So I've been kind of agnostic on the issue of it because it hasn't come up for discussion. We've had a few state representatives that have brought it to the point where they think you ought to be discussing it. And if they want to do it, I'm going to probably observe. To me, I look at what was the nature of the crime. What does the victim's family think about it?
Right.
And does that need to be something that the system needs to make sure that justice is rendered?
Are you open to a cheaper way of doing it? Because I'm seeing states like South Carolina and others adding the firing squad option. I believe Alabama has a different way of doing things.
In my reference to the legislature looking at it, it would have been along those lines. Even in getting these chemicals, there's not a supply chain out there. It's almost like you have to go out and find it on the dark internet. It wasn't easy. Maybe 1 or 2 individuals that will even do it, because all the drugs that go into it aren't that expensive, but it's a liability associated with it. So there's not even a supply chain for it. And then you get into the situation where it's got a 90-day or shelf life that doesn't last very long.
See, but that's my thing. Start getting them on a schedule then. Start getting some of these. Is that within your purview to put some of these guys on?
That's the Attorney General.
Attorney General?
He said he's going to do it, and I'll look at each one and handle it the same way I did this one. To me, it was clear where this was going to end up because there was nothing that really, through the belabored process, that said that anything was out of order and that the sentence was fair and it needed to be carried out.
We now have a tornado warning from Marion County. Tornado warning from Marion County. We'll have an update with John Herrick in the newsroom in just a moment. Governor, what's next with property tax? I know you had a meeting, like a closed door kind of meeting with some movers and shakers recently. This past session, a lot of people weren't really happy with what had happened. Maybe things were overpromised. What's next?
So that issue will be a continuing discussion, because one part of the bill that you'll see in motion would be the fact that you're raising the exemption by 31 to where 2/3 of your homestead is exempted from property taxes. That phases itself in each year and then flattens in 31. There are other things that put some restraints on it. The discussion is not over, and you got to remember, I know you've got a cohort here that's not happy with it. I did everything you could do other than call for a special session.
Why didn't you do that?
Because neither one of them would have made any difference, and I would have soured the relationship with the people that I needed to get something done. Now, this is where we started. It is measurable relief. I know Rob was upset because it seemed confusing and had too many moving parts in it, but it's a confusing issue that no one has a clear idea other than it's the first thing that we've done in a long time to address it, and we got it done in one session that we jumped into in motion. It took Mitch Daniels, I think, 4 years to get what he got done back then. Property taxes won't go away because many of us believe that your house should be free and clear after a certain point in time, and
Absolutely.
that issue will not go away, and I won't let it. What we get done next year is questionable. A budget year is the following year, and it will be a topic of consideration again.
Governor, we got about 30 seconds left here. We want to be respectful of your time. So what can we do to help out? Like, we've had the lieutenant governor tell us, well, you should show up to school board meetings more often, show up to council meetings. I'm at work. My kids have ball games. My kids have events. Nigel's are the same way. We elect people to do that kind of stuff for us. So what can we do to kind of fight back?
Keep the issue alive, but it does make a difference if people do show up where the school board members hear it, or the city or county councilmen do, or the commissioners, because there is a big array of lobbyists that jumped in once it looked like we may get more done than what we did. That's what they were hearing mostly. Remember, I got it through what we did get done by 2 votes. That's as close as you can get to not having anything.
Well, Governor, we've got tornado sirens going off in Marion County, so we need to put a wrap on this. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll do this again soon.
Thanks for the free brew.
You got it.
Buddy.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Hendricks County, northwestern Marion County, and southeastern Boone County until 4:45 this afternoon. So that's about for the next 13 minutes or so. At 4:21, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Brownsburg, or 16 miles northwest of Indianapolis, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. There's damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles that can occur. Tree damage is also likely. Locations impacted include Brownsburg, Zionsville, Pittsboro, and Whitestown. This includes the following highways: Interstate 65 between mile markers 125 and 134, Interstate 74 between mile markers 60 and 67. You are urged to take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, tornado warning in effect for northeastern Hendricks County, northwestern Marion County, and southeastern Boone County until 4:45 this afternoon.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A tornado warning in effect for part of the Indianapolis metro area. This tornado warning coming in here in just the past few minutes. It is in effect until 4:45 for northeastern Hendricks County, northwestern Marion County, and southeastern Boone County. Again, that is in effect until 4:45. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Brownsburg or 16 miles northwest of Indianapolis, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Again, a tornado warning in effect for Hendricks County, northeastern Hendricks County, northwestern Marion County, and southeastern Boone County until 4:45. This line of storms that is moving through the Indianapolis metro right now stretches all the way up to northern Indiana, all the way south to past Evansville, and it is moving. The individual storms are moving to the northeast from southwest, but the entire line is moving from west to east. And there are severe thunderstorm warnings all up and down this line of storms as they move through. So you need to be inside. If you are in those tornado-warned areas, you need to be hunkered down in your place of safety, lowest floor of your house or the basement. That is preferable. Put as many walls as you can between you and the possible tornado. Again, just in case you didn't hear it before, the tornado warning now in effect until 4:45 for northeastern Hendricks County, northwestern Marion County, southeastern Boone County, and that is until 4:45. Again, after these storms move out, you've still got a tornado watch that is in effect through 8 o'clock tonight. So it's not all over and done with yet. You still got that threat for tornadic storms even after this line moves out. Tornado warning for those counties until 4:45 here in the Indy Metro. Severe thunderstorm warnings if you're anywhere in this area right now. I'm Chris Davis. You got traffic and weather coming up.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, if you drive into the storms, please make sure your lights are on and please stay safe. Northwest side, northbound 465, jam 79-2865, exiting east. We are slow to Michigan Road. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Crash 79th and Michigan Road. Crash Beach Grove. This is Emerson Avenue at Subway Street. That's reported with injury and entrapment. Into the north split, westbound 70, stop and go from rural, and then we have the construction delay southbound 65-70 jammed up from the north split to the south split, and that's a delay time right now of 9 minutes. Southbound 65, stop and go 21st to Meridian Bend. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Harding Street, delayed 5 minutes. Crash south side, Troy Avenue at South Harding Street, and on the east side, southbound 465, stop and go before 70, down to 74. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Indiana summer storms are rolling in, and if you're like me, you're not climbing up on your roof to check for damage. That's why you call Moss Roofing. Family owned. Right here in central Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you something hard to find these days. Honest work and peace of mind. They offer free inspections, and I mean a real thorough checkup of your roof, your siding, your gutters, and your windows. If there's storm damage, they'll show you the photos, explain everything clearly and thoroughly, and even work with your insurance company for you. No stress, no pressure, just real professionals doing the job right every single time. Protect your home and avoid bigger problems later. Call Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Family owned Moss Roofing. 747-3665 or online at Moss. M-O-S-S. MossRoofing.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:45. This is for Monroe, Western Brown, Southeastern Owen, Martin, Lawrence, Eastern Greene, and Southeastern Davies counties. At 4:38, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Bloomington to 6 miles northwest of Paoli, moving east at 40 miles an hour, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and nickel-sized hail. Indicated with this, you can expect considerable tree damage along with homes, roofs, and outbuildings here. Locations impacted by this storm include Bloomington, Bedford, Shoals, Ellettsville, Mitchell, Lagodi, Ulitic, Steinsville, and more. We also still have that tornado warning in effect for a good chunk of Marion County as well. That goes on until 4:45 this afternoon. Areas impacted there include I-65 between mile markers 121 and 134, I-70 between mile markers 53 and 74, and I-74 as well between mile markers 59 and 73. I am going to try to let the National Weather Service tones play here to let us know what's going on more, so stay with us in a moment.
All right, you've been listening to live severe weather coverage here at 93 WIBC. We've got John Herrick in the newsroom keeping an eye on all of this. We've got the National Weather Service. They're going to be giving us updates. Whenever you hear that sound effect, that type of sound effect, that's coming from the National Weather Service. So here's what we want to do right now. If you are somewhere safe, and I cannot stress this enough, if you are somewhere safe, give us an update on what's going on where you are, whether that's Plainfield, Zionsville. Those are the areas right now that we're kind of focusing on. Tornado warning is in effect for parts of Boone, Hendricks, Marion until 4:45 p.m., and that includes Zionsville, Whitestown, and Brownsburg.
And my wife just texted me they're all in the basement right now.
And it's pretty bad in parts of this tornado warning. 70-mile-per-hour winds are in some pockets of the city. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for central Indy. So if you are somewhere safe, update us on what you're seeing. 239-9393 is our number. I'm looking out the window here at Monument Circle. Nigel, it went from sunny to pitch black in like a 15-minute time frame here, and I'm seeing some of the trees blowing out in the circle.
I mean, I could barely see North Meridian, like, you know, that access way
right
across the circle. I can barely see it. It's so drenched in black and really, really just coming down hard.
Part of the circle is doing that spark on the circle thing. And there's a tent that's out here. It's a red, white, and blue tent. And I'm a little concerned for that tent right now. It is blowing pretty hard. You see it billowing with the wind. So, again, if you are somewhere safe and you can give us an update, 239-9393. Again, I'm reading some live statements from the National Weather Service here in Indy. Severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Indy, Lawrence, and Beech Grove until 5 o'clock. Wind gusts expected to be around 80 miles per hour.
Whoa.
80. And that severe thunderstorm warning continues for Bloomington, Bedford, Ellettsville until 4:45. So you're almost out of the woods there. Let's go to Drew. Drew, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. I hope you're safe. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty safe. I'm on 36, eastbound at Ronald Reagan. Both hands on the wheel, so I'm good. It was coming down a lot harder. It seems to have let up a bit.
So this is the
that's the west side.
Yeah, west side.
Avon area.
Avon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brownsburg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Drew. Let's go to Pat. Pat, where are you calling us from?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming across Ronald Reagan a little bit ago, headed towards Plainfield from Brownsburg, and it's like whiteout conditions. Driving a semi 53-footer, you can't see anything. Coming down very hard.
Yeah, it's like me
very,
looking
very
out the
windy,
window
guys.
right now.
Any severe wind gusts that you thought, oh my goodness, this isn't good considering I'm driving a big rig here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially when you're driving empty.
Got it.
Oh man. So just a real quick general question for you, sir. When you're driving an empty semi and there's weather like this, how real is the possibility that you get knocked over and turned on your side and jackknifed, or both?
It's a very big possibility, especially when you don't have a load, that's for sure.
Oh, man. Be safe out there, Pat. God bless you. Let's go to Josh. Josh, where are you calling us from?
I was on the west side coming back from the airport area and watched the storm come in, and the winds were literally trying to lift my truck there right before Kentucky Avenue on 465.
Were you seeing like the stop lights or stop signs shaking? How were the trees?
Oh yeah, they're shaking like crazy. I'm on the south side now, and it really started coming down where it was like a river coming down the street.
Well, we've got a warning for the south side, Beech Grove area, until 5 o'clock. So it sounds like you may have just gotten out in front of it just a little bit. Be careful out there, Josh. Nathan is up next. Nathan, where are you calling us from?
Down south, Shoals, Indiana. Shout out to John for pronouncing Shoals correctly. But, I mean, there's hail, and, I mean, it's bad. Trees down everywhere. And we're down here in Martin County, south of Bedford.
When you say trees are down everywhere, are they in the road?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's bad. I had a hell of a time getting home.
Okay.
What size hail? I mean, just
about just a little bit smaller than a golf ball, probably a quarter.
That's pretty big. That's pretty
but it's still out there
big.
in the yard. I mean, you could shovel it.
My goodness.
Wow.
Just got a text from my wife. She's near Plainfield area, southwest side, more on the west side. Wind was crazy, tons of rain. It has let up. So
she's not at home?
No.
Ooh.
No, she is out in the mix.
But it's good news that it's let up a little bit.
Correct.
In that area.
Yeah, so Allison, get us one more phone call here. Again, we're trying to keep everybody up to date on the conditions out there. We're going to have Matt Baer here in just a moment. He's in the traffic department. We've already had one caller say there are some trees in some roads, which is expected when you're talking about 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. That's a big deal. All right. Coming up here in just a moment, we will give you an update on the latest watches and warnings. How about one more call? John, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Where are you at?
I'm in Waterfall, looking up, and the wind was blowing like the devil about 8-10 minutes ago, and power went out everywhere. Had my garage door open, put some gas in my car, and all the lights went out, so the garage door won't close. But it's like a steady, normal rain now after that initial burst came through. So I think it's north and northwest of it.
Got it. Thank you, John. Be safe, brother.
Thank you,
John. Tara Hastings, meteorologist for Wish TV. Wind just picked up in Bargersville. So Bargersville. That was a tweet from about 6 minutes ago. May already be there. Be careful. Be safe. More watches, more warnings coming up. We'll touch base with Matt Baer. John Herrick's on the way. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, if Dad's got a birthday coming up or you just want to do something cool for yourself, guys, you can give yourself the extra boost of health and energy you need to live your best life. Low T Center is offering free weight loss consultations and free T tests as a special limited offer right now. Treatment is personalized to you, and most major insurance is accepted. Book it now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. If you're feeling tired, sluggish, low energy, could all be signs of low T.
And at the Low T Center, you have the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment. Plus, you're helping get control of your health. So, from now until the 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for TRT or weight loss treatment at the Low T Center. Offer is limited. Book right now. FixMyLowT.com. FixMyLowT.com.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
I love everything we've ever bought from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, including our outdoor patio, Berlin Gardens, just beautiful stuff. We also have a Tempur-Pedic mattress from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. And right now, they're cleaning out all their inventory. You could save up to 50% off Lazy Boys and Smith Brothers. And if it's in stock, save up to an extra 25% off. And save up to 50% off floor sample mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic. First come, first serve. This sale ends Monday. Don't forget, free delivery.
They offer up to 4 years interest-free financing. Free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store in Columbus. And let's be honest, the biggest selection of Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Oh, I've got one. It's a game changer. Makes my beat-up back and knees and shoulder feel great. Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. They support us here at the Hammer and Nigel show. Support these guys. ThompsonFurniture.net. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Buying a diamond has changed. There are mined and lab-grown diamonds. Pierce Jewelers carries both. Pierce can educate you and save your hard-earned money. Shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers. Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
The dirty, stinking honest.
All right, Matt, we're starting to get some phone calls about trees being down in some parts of the area. I don't know if that's a big problem in central Indy just yet. I've been hearing about the suburbs. Any reports or anything like that?
Yeah, we are getting reports, starting to get downed power line reports. In fact, Belmont and 10th on the west side, downtown Indiana Avenue. Please avoid these areas if you would. Indiana Avenue at West Street, and also on the west side, downed power lines at Raceway Road at US 36 Rockville Road. About 5,000 AES customers without power. That means we'll have dark traffic lights around the city. Please treat those as 4-way, 6-way stops, whatever they might be. Northwest side, southbound 65 stopped. Dogleg down to 71st Street. Northbound lanes also stopped from 465 up to West 71st. Crash north side, eastbound 465 at Michigan Road. Left lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go through 865 down to 86th Street. And now a report coming in of a breakdown, some sort of traffic hazard. In fact, on eastbound 465 before Keystone Avenue, watch the right lane. It is slow. That could be flooding. Looking at the east side, this is northbound 465 after I-70 crash. Blocking the left lane, stop and go traffic back to 70 in those southbound lanes. We are stopped from I-70 down to 74 on the southeast side. Westbound 70 jammed from rural into the north split. Southbound 65, 70 stopped from the north split down to the south split, and eastbound 70 bad from Belmont into the south split. Northbound 65 stop and go traffic Southport Road up to 465. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Indy, Carmel, Fishers until 5 o'clock. We also have that in effect for Seymour, Bedford, and Mitchell until 5:30. If you're down in the Beech Grove area, along with Lawrence, that's severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5 p.m. Wind gusts 80 miles per hour in this storm. And now we're concerned about tree branches blocking the road. Bradley joins us on the phone line. Bradley, where are you at?
Hey there. I just drove up right through the tornado warning on the northwest side on 65 northbound, but southbound is going to be backed up for about 5 miles right now, just south of the 86 overpass. So if you're heading southbound, probably better to take 865 around Indianapolis, but it is backed up. It's down to 1 lane.
Bradley, my man, I appreciate you. Stay safe out there. And again, if you are somewhere safe and you can get a picture, send it to us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Hammer and Nigel. You can email us, hammerandnigel@wibc.com. We will alert the masses. We'll get you an update on the warnings, the watches, the road conditions, all of that when we come back.
Yeah, so my sidewalk and front porch were falling apart. They needed completely replaced. And I was just going to go with the basic generic concrete that looked the same as before. But my wife took one look at indiedecorativeconcrete.com and the job they could do. And she was like, yeah, we're going with these guys. I was blown away at what they could do in terms of taking our basic sidewalk and porch and actually turning it into a custom stamped, bigger concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. They've been around since 2007. The owners, Mark and Jamie, not only do they run a great custom concrete business, they're great people. Mark came out to the house, gave us a few design ideas, and then we went to their showroom, and Jamie helped us pick out the stamped pattern that we liked best. Easy process. Once we got it on the books, they were done in 3 days. By the way, everyone who works for them is a W-2 employee, no subs. So whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, front porch, don't do anything until you checked out indiedecorativeconcrete.com. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk look. That's indiedecorativeconcrete.com.
At Hendricks, your cancer care is in the details.
You have questions, and our dedicated clinicians and expert oncologists will answer them.
You have hills to climb, and we are going to climb them.
You have dreams, and we're here to help you chase them. You have cancer, and you have all the expertise,
the determination, and the kindness of the entire Hendricks team.
Backed by Mayo Clinic expertise.
It's not just cancer care.
It's Teresa Care. Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
This is a Fox News alert. The jury says not guilty on Lisa Brady. At her retrial in Massachusetts, the jury finds Karen Reed not guilty of second-degree murder and manslaughter in the death of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, a police officer whose body was found in the snow outside another officer's home, where prosecutors say Reed hit him with her car and left him to die. The jury heard conflicting testimony on whether O'Keefe was hit by a car, as the defense argued police planted evidence. The jury also acquitted Reed of leaving the scene, but convicted her of driving under the influence. A crowd outside court chanting, "We freed Karen Reed."
These folks out here really felt a connection to Karen Reed, wearing her favorite color, the pink color. They would always put up the sign language of "I love you" every single day. And when you talk to the locals here, they say that they felt aggrieved, that there was an injustice here, that the police overstepped and framed Karen Reed to protect one of their own.
Fox's Brian Yennis at the courthouse in Dedham, where Reed made brief remarks before leaving.
No one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have and my team.
Also thanking supporters for backing her emotionally and financially. The verdict comes on the fourth day of deliberations in nearly a year after the first jury deadlocked. President Trump says again it's not too late for a nuclear deal with Iran and that Iran wants to negotiate.
They do want to come and see us. They want to see me in the White House. That's a big statement. But it's very late.
Iran denies seeking a White House meeting and says it won't negotiate under duress as the supreme leader warns the U.S. not to join Israeli airstrikes. President Trump says he hasn't made a decision. Some lawmakers want to require congressional authorization. Just getting reports the U.S. is now beginning to evacuate non-essential diplomats and their families from the U.S. Embassy in Israel.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
One heck of a storm in the Indy Metro. Yeah, this was a big one moving through here in the past few minutes, and it's still moving through the eastern part of the Indianapolis Metro with some severe thunderstorm warnings just coming to an end now. But do have some reports to give you about some damage. Some trees down, power lines down, reported in Hendricks County. That is where a tornado warning was in effect here in the past half hour. We do not have confirmation that there was a tornado. That, if it did happen, the confirmation wouldn't happen until sometime tomorrow. We don't have any reports of a visual sighting of a tornado yet, but we do have reports of some trees and power lines down there in Hendricks County. Also, getting reports now that about 5,000 AES Indiana customers do not have power. Also getting reports now, too, that there were winds possibly hitting 70 miles per hour at the Indianapolis International Airport when this line of storms moved through the western part of Marion County. Getting some info about the Boone County Dispatch Center. That's the 911 dispatch center being offline, possibly because of the storms. So they would be working to get that back up here. Also, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Some of the people who are covering the NBA Finals asked to stay there until the storm passes. This is a really robust line of storms that was moving through central Indiana. It has died down some, according to radar data here in the past few minutes. Some of those severe thunderstorm warnings that were in effect all up and down the line, a lot of those not being renewed, a lot of those being allowed to expire as this line of storms progresses on off to the east through the Indy Metro. Newcastle, Muncie, you are next in line to get some of these storms, but again, the intensity has died down some. Getting reports now from Jeanette Cruz from the newsroom, who is driving on US 31 at 106th, and she says that there is a giant tree down on the southbound lanes of US 31 there at 106th. So be aware of that. Matt Baer's got traffic info coming up here in just a few minutes to help you get around some of these obstacles that have been created by the storms. Again, you will get the latest right here from 93 WIBC. A tornado watch remains in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for almost the entire state as this line of storms moves through. You've got traffic and weather coming up.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Good afternoon. The National Weather Service in Indianapolis now issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for Madison County, Hancock County, northwestern Rush County, western Delaware County, eastern Howard County, western Henry County, eastern Marion County, Hamilton County, and Tipton County. That is until 5:45 tonight. At 4:58, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Swayze to 7 miles southeast of Lawrence, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail being reported. Considerable tree damage is likely, along with mobile home damage, roofs, and outbuildings. Locations impacted include Indianapolis, Muncie, Anderson, Carmel, Fishers, Noblesville, Lawrence, Greenfield, Beech Grove, Elwood, Alexandria, Tipton, Windfall, Westfield, Yorktown, Cumberland, Cicero, McCordsville, Pendleton, and Fortville. Remain alert for a possible tornado because tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms, and a severe thunderstorm warning again in effect for these areas: Madison, Hancock, northwestern Rush, western Delaware, eastern Howard, western Henry, eastern Marion, Hamilton, and Tipton counties, and a tornado watch remains in effect until 8 o'clock for central and east central Indiana. And now let's take a look at the roads with Matt Bear.
Yeah, John, we're looking at almost 27,000 AES customers without power now, so we're going to have dark intersections. Traffic lights not working. Please take turns. Treat us for 6-way stops, if you would, please. Crash 79th of Michigan Road, southbound 65 stopped in Pike Township from State Road 267 down to West 86th Street going into Pike Township. In a crash on the east side, it's northbound 465 after I-70 blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic to Washington Street. Southbound 465 jams up at 70 pockets of stop-and-go down to Arlington Avenue. Westbound 70 stop-and-go into the north split from Rural Street in that construction delay. Southbound 6570 were jammed from the north split down to the south split. Inbound 65 slows from 21st to Meridian Penn, and westbound 70 like you're going to the airport from downtown. That has stopped from West Street almost to Harding. Those eastbound lanes loaded from Harding Street into the south split. South side northbound 65 slows from Southport Road up to 465. Reports of power lines down at Belmont and West 10th on the west side. Also Raceway Road at Rockville Road, and report of power lines down downtown Indiana Avenue at West Street. Traffic sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHSRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Grab your tickets for Columbus July 9th through the 12th at IHRA.com, IHRA.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Yeah, it was pretty dicey there for just a little bit, and there's a lot of places in the WIBC listening area that are not out of the clear yet.
And a lot of people don't have power.
Yeah, power issues, fallen trees in the road. Matt Bear is going to have an update on the latest coming up in just a little bit. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nigel's here.
Hello.
If you follow us on Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel, I've retweeted a couple of different pictures and updates from listeners. Terry Miller sends us a message from Lawrence. It's a photo of all of her neighbors' trees now in her yard. Chad tweets at us, power out on the west side at Washington and Lyndhurst. No traffic light, and traffic is backed up all 4 directions.
My buddy Ben just texted me a picture of 64th and Meridian. All the traffic lights are out. And then 71st and Meridian, tons of branches and stuff in the road.
Still got a pretty big line of nasty here in central Indy. It's made its way through downtown, but you go from north to south here, this big line, it kind of bows backward just a little bit. So you're seeing places like Noblesville, Fishers, Lawrence. They are getting hit right now. Also, Shelbyville, Greenfield, it's on the way. Muncie, you will be getting some of this action here in just a little bit. And whenever we have updated warnings and watches, John Herrick from the newsroom will jump in. Nigel, when it comes to the situation in Iran, Donald Trump has maintained they cannot have a nuclear weapon. He's called for Iran to surrender.
We know where the supreme leader is. He's safe for now, but we could kill him if we wanted.
If we wanted to. Donald Trump, when asked, are you going to have a strike in Iran? Quote, I may not. So he's keeping it kind of close to the vest. The supreme leader in Iran has stated that they will not surrender. They're going full Corey Hart and never surrender. You like that one?
Wow, I didn't expect a Corey Hart reference when discussing issues in Iran. No, I didn't. But, I mean, what else are they going to do? What else are they going to say? They're trying to come to the table now.
Correct.
They're trying to, do what Donald Trump has been saying you should have done within the 60 days I gave you.
More evacuations taking place in the Middle East. So, again, keep an eye on the next 24, 36, 48 hours. Trump, I may do it. I may not do it.
Yeah.
Kind of giving you a wink and a little elbow nub. So on The View, and I don't want to spoil this, Nigel, because I know you recorded it on your DVR.
Oh.
On The View earlier today, Whoopi Goldberg says that when you compare the people living in Iran to the people living in America, it's really the same thing.
The people?
The people. Yes, Whoopi Goldberg says black people specifically living in America have it just as bad as people living in Iran.
Yeah, I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran. Not if you're black. Not for everybody. Not if you're black. Guys, don't go to Tehran.
I don't know. Maybe Whoopi should buy herself a plane ticket to Iran and spend a few months there.
Hang out with the Ayatollah of rock and roll and see how it goes. Spend some time over there.
And it seems pretty bad over there. Their citizens hate. When I say their citizens, the Iranians, the Persians hate their leadership.
They do?
And probably are rooting for the United States to pull something off. Or Israel, I guess I should say. I don't want anything in terms of boots on the ground and things like that with the United States. But I'm fairly certain the Iranian people, their citizens, hate their government and their oppressive dictatorship.
And Whoopi Goldberg's a pretty proud, outspoken black woman, which good for her. Now try to do that in Iran, right? Go try to be outspoken and a flamethrower in Iran and see how that works out for you.
Not so much.
Some of these people, once they get outside of their little bubble, I wonder if they understand we all think they're idiots. Because I'm sure Whoopi surrounds herself with yes people and show staffers and interns. Oh, Whoopi, you're great. That's a really intelligent take. But once you get outside of your inner circle, I wonder if they truly understand most of this country thinks they're morons. I don't know if they do. Miss Allison, speaking of Iran, I need some mood music.
Uh-oh.
Big Nige, we're playing the feud. And it's Lion Ted Cruz, taking on Tucker Carlson.
Oh, man, Lion Ted holds that Bible high, but when he puts it down, he lies.
Ted Cruz went on with Tucker Carlson.
I like Ted Cruz, by the way.
I do, too. That's one of the great nicknames Trump's ever given out, though. Lion Ted. And I know you like Tucker Carlson very much.
Sure.
So Tucker's very outspoken. He does not want this war. He thinks Donald Trump is making a mistake by egging a war on, basically. Ted Cruz, on the other hand, is supporting the way Donald Trump is doing things. So let's pick it up here. This is a conversation they had yesterday.
I don't know the population. At all? No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple? How many people live in Iran? 92 million. Okay. Yeah, how could you not know that? I don't sit around memorizing population tables. Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government. Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant? Because if you don't know anything about the country... I didn't say I don't know anything about Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran? They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is
it's not even. You don't know anything about Iran, so actually
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. If you really believe that,
we're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help.
A lot to unpack there, Nige. Like, on one hand, I agree with Ted Cruz. Like, okay, 80, 90, like, I don't memorize the populations of these places. I feel confident Ted Cruz knows the breakdown of the political landscape of Iran. He might not remember the exact population number. Like, remember when that libertarian weirdo Gary Johnson was running for president and he went on MSNBC and somebody asked him about Aleppo? Nobody cares about Aleppo. Nobody knows where Aleppo is. Yeah. And they mocked him mercilessly because he wasn't aware of where it was. I kind of feel like that's what Tucker's trying to do to Ted Cruz here.
Yeah, but I just don't, in general, like from a 30,000-foot view, I don't like seeing, I don't like us turning on each other. When I say us, I mean maybe people on our side that think kind of the same things we do. Don't necessarily agree on things. I don't like seeing them turn on each other. I feel like a lot of this is divisive.
Sure.
It's definitely divisive. And I don't like seeing that.
Here's a little bit more of the spirit.
There's certain people that do like seeing it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Here's a little bit more of the spirited back and forth.
I'm said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
this is
Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like you're going after semantics there. You didn't know the population. You said we. I've never met Ted Cruz. I've never met Tucker Carlson. But I feel pretty confident Ted Cruz knows what he's talking about when it comes to this. And Tucker was trying to make it look like he didn't.
The only thing they disagree on is whether or not the United States should be involved directly in this war or whatever you want to call it.
Correct.
All right? And it's dividing us. And I think there are certain actors, I think there are certain people like influencers that are perpetuating this as well.
Matt Baer.
Yeah, fellas, looking at Pike Township, southbound 65 between 86th Street and West 71st. There is a tree on the interstate. It is completely blocking the right lane and the right shoulder. This has traffic jammed all the way back past Whitestown Parkway to State Road 267. Again, a tree down southbound 65 between 86th Street and 71st. And we also have a jackknife semi-trailer downtown it, running from westbound 70 between West Street and Harding Street. And right now, a couple of left lanes are blocked. The right lane barely open with the right shoulder. Traffic is stopped into the south split, and then we have that construction back up to the north split, and a slowdown on westbound 70 coming into the north split from rural. East side crash, northbound at 465 after I-70. It blocks the left lane and jams us up back to Washington Street. Those southbound lanes also jammed from 70 down to I-74. Southbound 31, a crash at 106th Street. Also looking at the eastbound 465 on the north side at Michigan Road. Crash on the shoulder that backs us up to West 86th Street. Reports of power lines down throughout the metro area. Also over 25,000 AES customers without power. We're going to have traffic lights dark at intersections. Please take turns as they are now 4-way stops and 6-way stops until the power is restored. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, severe thunderstorm warning continues for the majority of the WIBC listening area. Had some tornado warnings earlier. Looks like most of those have expired, but the area's still expecting to get storms. Buckle up, because this bad boy is no joke. You're looking at wind gusts 70 to 80 miles per hour. And again, this is a big, long line of storms, north to south, starting right around Anderson area and moving its way down, heading toward the east. Right now, we got cloudy skies here at Monument Circle, gray skies, rain, tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. tonight, 72 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Call the only local Indianapolis real estate agent I trust. My man Mark knows his stuff. Only agent I trust to sell my house and find me a new one. About Luke and Emma in Franklin, they found the perfect piece of land, started building the dream home, but they needed to sell their old house at the right price to fund that dream. That's when they hired Mark Dietl. They got multiple offers the first weekend, closed in 25 days, and they negotiated for them to stay while they completed the new dream home. Stress-free and profitable with Mark Dietl.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right, he will buy it. Pick your move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Mark Dietl makes this easy. All you have to do is reach out to him. Call him right now, 888-755-4232 or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024
Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Allison, do we have time for some mood music from a band called Red Jumpsuit Apparatus?
You ever heard this?
I've barely heard of the band. I've barely heard that. I feel like I recognize that song. The reason why we are playing the hook from that song from the band Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, it's called Face Down, is because the lead singer from that band has said that Trump voters are not allowed at his shows.
If you're a Christian and you're watching this and you voted for Donald Trump, shame on you. You are not allowed to come to my shows. I don't want you there. Don't come to my shows. It's awesome that you love Face Down. It's not for you. It's not your song, okay? It is not your song. If you voted for Donald Trump, do not come to my shows or ever, not just like these 4 years. Don't come to my shows because you're going to hear a lot of woke propaganda and you're going to hear like the actual words of Jesus. That's not what you're about, okay? Don't come. Refunds are available. Forever don't come.
Are you okay with this? Are they a Christian band?
I don't know what they are, but don't threaten me with a good time. I won't go to your shows.
Okay.
Or maybe I want to troll and go to the shows. You can't legally kick me out. So what would happen if I went to this show with a MAGA hat on, the red classic MAGA hat, and a T-shirt that had Donald Trump's face on it? What do you think this little needle wiener is going to do? Is he going to jump down out of the stands and fight me? Are the people around me going to fight me? Because I got a feeling the kind of person that goes to the red jumpsuit apparatus show can't take me anyway. So maybe I will just show up, sit in the front row, and just be a big pain in the ass.
But it seems like we're giving them what they want right now, too. This is all it is a ploy for us to get them to talk about red jumpsuit apparatus. How many people are going to type that in their iTunes search engine tonight?
True.
You know,
I've barely heard the song that we used for the mood music. I've heard it before.
I kind of recognized it.
But have you seen this guy, too? Like, this dude that's saying this, Mr. Johnny Tough Guy here, the lead singer of Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, he looks like the kind of guy that if he's in the shower, he might fall down the drain. Like, go eat a cheeseburger and shut the hell up, dude. Leave me alone.
One more quick one. We'll stay in the music universe here. Garth Brooks' daughter, his youngest daughter, Allie Colleen, recently said that she needs to make people aware of something at her live shows.
I'm just asking more so the industry to help me out, to not put me in that box to people that I'm not going to fit in that box. They're not going to like me in there. You know what I mean? I don't represent him at all. So it's just always been really tough when it's like Garth Brooks' daughter, Allie Colleen, doing this. Now all of a sudden everyone thinks Friends in Low Places is going to be in my set. And it's not.
Are you okay with her whole attitude there?
No. Be grateful for what you have. Like, she sounds awful smug. Would anybody be booking Allie Colleen if her dad wasn't Garth Brooks? It's the, LeBron James kid story all over again.
Yeah.
With all due respect to Bronny, I'm sure you may be a nice kid. You're only here because of who your dad is, right? You're only here because of who your dad is. So maybe you just pipe down a little bit, be humble, and do with that. All right, so I think we got to go to John Herrick here. We've got Tony Kennett coming up from the Daily Signal. We got some severe weather going on. Don't go anywhere. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 for eastern Madison, eastern Hancock, northwestern Rush, and western Delaware, along with western Henry counties. At 5:27, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Hartford City to near Newcastle, moving northeast at 65 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail were reported. Locations impacted included Muncie, Anderson, Alexandria, Yorktown, Chesterfield, Knightstown, Eaton, Daleville, Summitville, Gaston, Shirley, Markleville, Kennard, Wilkinson, Sulphur Springs, Cadiz, and Ball State University. That includes the following highways: Interstate 69 between mile markers 226 and 252, and Interstate 70 between mile markers 109 and 119. And remember that a tornado watch remains in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for central and east central Indiana. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms, and although a tornado is not immediately likely, if one is spotted, act quickly and move to a place of safety inside a sturdy structure such as a basement or a small interior room. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern Madison, eastern Hancock, northwestern Rush, western Delaware, and western Henry counties until 5:45. And now let's check in with Chris Davis.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for some parts of the Indy Metro. So here is the latest from the National Weather Service. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 5:45 from Madison, Hancock, northwestern Rush, western Delaware, western Henry, northeastern Hamilton, and east central Tipton counties. A severe thunderstorms miles per hour, 70 mile per hour wind gusts, and quarter-size hail possible with these storms. Again, hail damage is still possible as these storms are moving through the eastern part of the Indy Metro. 70 mile per hour wind gusts reported as they move through the city of Indianapolis, and there are some large-scale power outages. AES reporting at least 27,000 customers are without power. Ryan Hedrick is out in the north part of the Indy Metro talking to a gentleman named Carl.
Storms came down pretty bad. There's a tree in front of your house that's down.
That's right.
Yeah. Talk about the storms.
Well, it just came through pretty quickly. It was very fast, and actually I was in traffic, so but I got home, and then this was here, so yeah, it's pretty intense.
How was that in traffic? Because there's a lot of people. Usually these storms pass through 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and we're in bed or in our home. There's a lot of people on the roads right now.
Yeah, it was a lot of rain, wind as well. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
And here's Jeanette Cruz.
Jeanette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News. I was actually driving myself on US 31 northbound, approaching 116th Street, making my way to the Carmel area right around about 4:45, 4:50, when there was a huge tree that fell over on the opposite side of the lanes, completely blocking US 31 southbound, heading into the city. Actually struck a black SUV. I believe there was another vehicle as well, and basically just had traffic at a complete standstill on the southbound lanes. I myself had to pull over because the winds were pretty heavy, and they were moving lots of just debris around in terms of trees and branches, and all of us were basically just at a standstill while that heavy storm moved through, and then finally we were able to make our way through. But then a few minutes after that is when we started to see the emergency personnel starting to make their way from the Carmel area, which I imagine they were heading towards the scene of that tree being fallen down, just because there was so much going on all at the same time. Everybody just go ahead and stay safe out there while you are on the roads. Jeanette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
All right, tornado watch remains in effect through 8 o'clock tonight, according to the National Weather Service. So severe thunderstorms not over and done with. They are in the eastern part of the Indy Metro now. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect there until 4:45. I'm Chris Davis. You've got traffic and weather in just 1 minute.
Thank you, Chris. And the National Weather Service now issuing another severe thunderstorm warning, which continues. We are seeing some of this now moving into the eastern part of the state. And the latest severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 5:45 for central Bartholomew County. And that was at 5:27, where a severe thunderstorm was located over Columbus, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts reported there. This is impacting areas like Columbus, Edinburgh, Elizabethtown, Clifford, New Bern, and Taylorsville. That's also in I-65 between mile markers 62 and 78. And also, again, tornado watch in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for central Indiana. And now let's go ahead and check in on what else is going on the roads with Matt Bear.
Yeah, John, downtown, westbound 70 after West Street, we have a semi-trailer that's jackknifed, and 2 left lanes are currently blocked. You can get by partially in the right lane, also the right shoulder. Again, this is westbound 70 after West, and traffic is stopped into the south split. Also backing us up through that construction delay to the north split. Westbound 70 is stop and go from Rural Street into the north split. Inbound 65 dragging even more than usual from 29th Street to the North Split. Looking at southbound 65 Pike Township. This is a fallen tree after West 86th Street. The right lane is blocked, and traffic is stopped back to County Road 550 south and drags on up to State Road 267. North side crash, eastbound 465 at Michigan Road. That sends us back to 865 slowly and backed up to West 86th Street on the northwest side. Reports of down power lines on the west side. One Belmont south of West 10th Street. Another one Raceway Road at Rockville Road. Also a report of downtown fallen power lines, Indiana Avenue.
Sorry, Matt. Go ahead and continue if you've got more.
Okay, again, westbound 70 jackknife semi-trailer after West Street blocking 2 left lanes. And then we look at State Road 37 in Noblesville from Greenfield Avenue. Both directions of 37 are stopped. Let me look at this number again. Almost 52,000 AES customers without power in the metro right now because of the storms. Please treat those traffic lights that are dark as 4-way, 6-way stops and take turns. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, again, John Herrick with you from the WIBC News Center. Thank you to Chris Davis and Johnette Cruz, Matt Bear, Ryan Hedrick, and more. We will keep you up to date on all of the severe storms as they continue to move in. The big thing to keep an eye on as it continues, that tornado watch until 8 o'clock. You're listening to 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He's always the smartest guy in the room.
Always.
Always.
Or
He's
on the phone.
Investigative reporter for the Daily Signal and the host of the Tony Kennett Cast. 7 o'clock right after our show here at 93 WIBC. Happy belated birthday to Tony Kennett. How are you?
Great, and by the way, that smartest in the room comment, your check is in the mail.
How was the birthday celebration? Like, what does an investigative reporter do on his birthday? Are we talking hookers and blow? Are you going out to Vegas? What goes on?
Well, unfortunately, since I'm not a member of the Democrat Party, I'm not really invited to any of those Indianapolis shindigs, but I will say we did break the viewership record for the show again last night.
Yeah.
So I'll take that as a birthday present anytime. Thank you.
So you can hear it on the air, but you can also watch it through a platform?
Yeah, YouTube, Rumble, X, that kind of thing. If you're in Milwaukee on TV, we have a very weird syndication market.
Love it. Love it. Well, hey, let's get into the biggest story, not just in America, but maybe the world, the situation between Israel and Iran, and where does the United States come into play here? This is a debate that's kind of dividing the MAGA sphere, Tony. Where are you?
Well, it's sort of dividing the MAGAsphere. I keep being told that all of these Republicans, it's right down the middle, this huge split. All of the polling that we've seen so far among Trump voters, among registered Republicans, so far, it's somewhere between 90 and 10 and 70 and 30. The vast majority of Republicans are with Trump on this. By the way, also the vast majority of Americans, they don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This has been Trump's position for 40 years. This is not a, well, it's going to be forever wars and nation building. I was warned. You were warned that if Israel struck Iran, there'd be World War III and Russia with Putin and China would be getting involved and, oh, we're all going to die. That didn't happen. Russia abandoned Iran. Syria abandoned Iran. Iraq, Saudi Arabia, etc. No one cares. And so now we're in a position.
But just to be devil's advocate here, the whole subject of nation building, I think that's where people get squirrely. Yes, I think people agree that having bat crap crazy lunatics having access to a nuke is a bad thing. But when you then tell them, we're going to structure it for you, that's never worked out.
So I actually just dunked on a former representative from Florida about this precise thing, which is that, no, nation building through loans and special business packages are not a good thing for the American people. But I'm not really seeing that here. I mean, I'm seeing people say, look, if the regime in Iran falls, which it's currently hanging by a thread, cool. I mean, there's a former king that wants to return. I mean, the Kurds are threatening to break away, which I think is a good thing. But as for the U.S. occupying and setting up a nation building, even from Lindsey Graham, who's a certified nutcase, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not. I'm looking for it. I'm ready because I would dunk on that position just like anyone should. But I'm not even seeing it. I'm just not. I'm seeing a bunch of fear-mongering and Candace Owens saying that Aaron Bushnell was a brave man for setting himself on fire. That's all I'm seeing.
You think you're going to see Donald Trump drop the mother of all bombs, that big old bunker buster on the underground enrichment facility there in Iran? Is that going to happen? Is that something that the United States wants to do?
I think that's a decision left up to the president, and I'm going to be real. Trump's best thing about his first administration was foreign policy. That man had a solid gold record. Soleimani was killed. It was precise. I heard all of the screaming and crying from the left, and now the weird Tucker Carlson, Bernie Sanders alliance, which I feel like I'm doing meth when I read Twitter these days. I think that Trump should do what he wants because I think Trump is correct here. Of all of the things he's done, his foreign policy, the way that he feels that stuff out, is pretty damn near spotless.
I don't think Israel's necessarily wanting our help in terms of troops on the ground, or, you know, we're going to fly these missions for you, or we're going to give you F-16s. I don't think that's what they're asking for.
All I'll say, and I'll leave it at this, there are a lot of influencers on the online spheres who have been exposed over the last 72 hours. All of these anonymous accounts, I'm an American, I grew up in America, I'm not dying for Israel. Those accounts are from Pakistan. Those accounts have been exposed. I mean, IP addresses owned by Abdul Barak Ghashil from India, northern India, from Pakistan, from Turkmenistan. They're fake. The polling shows in America, most Americans know Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. It's just as simple as that. Sorry.
But a name you dropped earlier is Tucker Carlson. And again, this is always awkward for Nige because when we're talking about Tucker versus Donald Trump, it feels like his parents are fighting here. But Tucker's a guy that is on one side. You mentioned Candace Owens. She's on one side. Jack Posobiec, popular online guy. He's on one side.
Yep.
So there are some Americans, not just Pakistani bots.
And that's correct. And this, by the way, this is also very difficult for me. After the IPS, the Indianapolis stuff happened, only the WIBC market, and I truly understand this. Tucker Carlson, I told you guys this. He took 90 minutes. He helped me build my show. He told me how he runs like the teleprompter the scene switching by himself on Saturday, just a phone call. Wonderful guy. Have a lot of respect for him. He's just wrong here. He just is. I'm not going to lie and say that this has been easy for me to wade through this stuff either.
Well, wait, what's his position?
He hates war, which is a good position. He doesn't want American soldiers to die. He doesn't want Americans to die. I get that. But his assessment that we're going to have super ultra World War III and that Trump is just jumping along to Israel's drum is not true. It just isn't. And I think that at this point, the arguments that if you don't know how many people live in Iran, this means that we shouldn't keep them from having a nuclear weapon is a very bad take. And the same with Jack Poso, who I also really like. I just think he's wrong.
Now, is Tucker compromised in any way by having some money funnel into his company, his new Tucker Carlson network, from parties overseas?
I've seen a lot of claims. I've seen a lot of statements, both for legal and personal reasons, as well as not trying to talk on things that I haven't done any full investigation on. I have no comment on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Tony Kennett with us. The Tony Kennett cast happens right after our show, 7 p.m. here at 93 WIBC. Let's shift gears here just a little bit. Big Supreme Court ruling earlier today. Supreme Court saying that in regards to this lawsuit brought on by the state of Tennessee, you can't chop off the crank of minors. Now, I'm paraphrasing that. Those weren't the words of Alito or Kavanaugh. Curious as to your thoughts, Tony.
It's about time that the United States did, in fact, join a lot of the Western world in recognizing that if a government bans carcinogenic medication for minors, and I do want to point out, I called this out first, that these are carcinogenic. When you give these to women who are going through menopause, same drugs, you have to let them know they have a 4 to 10 times risk of getting cancer in certain organs. However, when you give that to minors, who, as we know, developing bodies are certainly, any parent who's ever dealt with a child's kneecap injury know there's certainly no problems that arise from that. My God, giving kids hormonal medications, in fact, cause cancer, and sterilization and a number of other things. It's a good thing that the Supreme Court upheld this. The country is returning to normal, and all of the LGBTQ plus 2IAs can go cry and pound sand.
You know, the worst thing that I see on social media when we're talking about puberty blockers and hormone therapy and transitioning teenagers is fast forward 2, 3, 4, or 5 years, they regret doing it, and there's nothing that they can do about it now.
Again, the same reason that you don't let a child get a tattoo or lop off body parts. Someone has body dysmorphia. If a child says, you know, I think I should be eating less, and so they participate in anorexia or bulimia, you don't just say, well, we need to affirm their choices. After all, who doesn't vomit a little bit after a meal? No. You get them professional medical help to turn them away from that. You don't just say, oh, honey, sweetie, whatever you think is fine. That's a very destructive way of thinking.
What's coming up on the big show tonight?
We're talking a little bit more about some of the international news, not just Israel and Iran, because Zelensky's back and he's asking for money.
No.
What? When did he start doing that?
I'm also shocked. Read the room, dude.
7 o'clock tonight. Check it out, the Tony Kennett cast right here at 93 WIBC. Tonis, great stuff as always, man. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
We're coming right back. We got another hour to go. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The deals at Andy Moore Ford continue. We're talking about that employee pricing. Employee pricing at Andy Moore Ford across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. That's right. You pay what they pay at Andy Moore Ford. Get $17,000 off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s or buy a new Ford Super Duty truck for under $40,000. 175 different trucks to choose from. And if you're looking to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Every vehicle comes with $500 in Andy Moore cash and $2,500 more for your trade. Plus, drive with no payments all summer long. Talk to Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Find out how easy it is to get your new car, truck, SUV, or fleet vehicle at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford. That's MOHR. I love Andy. AndyMooreFord.com.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Matt Bear, storm damage in the roads. Any updates?
Yeah, in fact, Whiteland Road is shut down at County Road 75 West. This is Whiteland Road in Johnson County because a tree that's down. So again, that's at County Road 75 West. Avoid Whiteland Road in that area. Looking to westbound 70 downtown, jackknife semi-trailer. It's after West Street blocking 2 left lanes, squeaking by in the right lane right shoulder, and traffic jam through the south split. Back to the north split and on to westbound 70 back to Rural Street. Inbound 65 stops 29th Street to Meridian Penn. Northwest side southbound 65 at West 86th Street. A tree down on the interstate blocking the right lane. And it's jamming us up back to State Road 267, slowing us almost to Lebanon. Eastbound 465 on the north side. Crash at 421 Michigan Road. That backs us up to 865, then back to West 86th Street. Watch out for State Road 37 at Greenfield Avenue in Noblesville. Backed up both directions. Stopped, in fact, in both directions of 37 from Greenfield Avenue. Have reports of trees down, also down to power lines. Down power lines, Belmont at 10th, Raceway Road at Rockville Road. Down power lines downtown Indianapolis, Indiana Avenue at West Street. Emergency vehicles reporting to a building collapse. Thompson Road at Wanamaker Drive. And AES customers, about 52,000 of them without power. That means traffic lights dark all over the place in intersections of Indianapolis. Please take turns as you approach these intersections with malfunctioning traffic lights. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Create a glowing backyard retreat with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor lighting package with the purchase of their best stamped concrete patio through June 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So we have a tornado watch for pretty much the entire WIBC listening area until 8 o'clock. That is still in effect here at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Looking at the latest watches, severe thunderstorm warning for Seymour, North Vernon, and Brownstown. That continues until 6:15. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Newcastle, Winchester, Union City until 6. Also, taking it down south a little bit, Columbus, Shelbyville, Greensburg. You've got a severe thunderstorm watch. That goes until 6 p.m. And Matt Bear, he's going to keep you up to date on reports of a lot of trees, a lot of damage out in the roadways. So, do not go anywhere. We've got John Herrick in the WIBC newsroom. Matt Bear, he's standing by in the traffic center. And do us a favor. Go to YouTube right now and give us a like. We need 9 more likes to get us to 100. Just 9. 9 brave, badass Americans that made it through the storm. Go to WIBC's YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Help us get to 100. And it'll make me happy. It'll get the digital department off my backside. Don't go anywhere. We've got another hour to go, keeping you weather aware here at the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month. Or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Guys, looking for a Father's Day gift that will give Dad an extra boost of health and energy he needs to live his best life? Low T Center is offering free weight loss consultations and free T tests as a special offer celebrating dads. Treatment is personalized and most major insurance is accepted.
With the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment, you're helping put Dad back in control of his health. Now, until the 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for TRT and weight loss. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Home sales activity is good, not great.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. Officials in Michigan City cut the ribbon today on the multi-million-dollar 11th Street Station building along the South Shore Line, which is being called a generational project. South Shore Line President Mike Nolan says the project is key to attracting private sector development along the railroad.
Is this vision that we could attract private sector development to invest in and around the train stations, and in so doing, bring back revenue to the state, to the county, to the cities involved, and help revitalize the cities and strengthen their downtowns.
Meanwhile, another mixed-use project that figured to be a foundational piece of Michigan City's revitalization is being delayed by several months. The $311 million Sola development was set to break ground in July, but our partners at the Times of Northwest Indiana report Chicago-based Farpoint Development has hit a snag in securing financing. Construction is now targeted for the end of the year. A couple who graduated from Butler University has donated $1.2 million to the school to develop a leadership training initiative within the fraternity and sorority system. The Lori Ziemba and Ken Massaroni Greek Life Leadership Institute will initially focus on developmental training among Butler students who hold leadership positions in fraternities and sororities. This is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Northwest Indiana is on the move, and the next big conversation is happening in Valparaiso. Join business and community leaders at Innovate Northwest Indiana, a powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight. We're talking talent, technology, and transformation, and what's next for the region. Join us at Valparaiso University July 9, part of the Innovate Indiana series presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
A settlement with Indiana coal producers could lead to third-party operation of coal units at Duke Energy Indiana's Cayuga Generating Station, the oldest coal-fired facility left in Duke's Hoosier portfolio. Duke's request to spend an estimated $3.3 billion on new gas units at Cayuga is still pending before the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. If regulators approve the plan, Duke has agreed to perform an engineering study to evaluate the technical feasibility of continued operation of the coal units by third parties that may be interested in purchasing them. I'm Alex Brown for 93 WIBC.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A jury in Dedham, Massachusetts has found